Hello everyone, it's time for your Twitter reactions to Liverpool's 2-1 defeat to Manchester City. Look, a real mixed bag. I've tried my best to reflect as many of the full gamut and range of emotions within this, and inevitably some of them are there's some angry people out there, and look, fair play, no one likes to see Liverpool lose, especially not to those shout the gobshites over there. It's on the M62. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. First one comes from Andy Evans, rock and roll star 93. If Fabinho started, we would have won that. I'll be honest, Andy. I can see exactly what you mean. In terms of, look, he looked really good when he came on the pitch. I think the pace of the game in the last 20 minutes was far more suited to Fabinho where he's at right now than the first 20 minutes of the game. I'll be honest, we sat here watching it and said, after the first 15, well, the first 10 minutes of that game particularly, when it was absolutely frantic, Gang was here, just turned around and went, I can see why Fabinho's not started this game, because he is just slightly too slow in reactions on the ball, particularly he does need time to warm into games, and I think given that pace, look, we'll never know. We'll never know, will we? So, you know, it's fine to have that opinion, absolutely fine. My gut feeling on it is that we might be talking about a situation where he'd been caught in possession and they could have stuck one in, and we'd all be saying, why have we not started Henderson, or why have we not started Gini Wijnaldum? They're so much better on the ball in the early stages of games. And to be honest, I mean, there's probably a few comments about it. I'm sure we'll get to some, but at the midfield, there's nothing wrong with the midfield selection, and it's a lot easier to criticise it in hindsight. The best move that we pulled in the first half, the one that led to the mad goal-mouth scramble, comes through the middle of the park and comes through quick, one-touch passing, blind passes round the corner. I enjoy that, and that's what Liverpool can do with that midfield. Maybe just a week too soon for James Milner having been injured, but again, I understand the trust placed in him. James Milner's been fantastic this season. Jordan Henderson's ability to quickly move the ball, whether it's backwards or sideways or whatever, is completely irrelevant. To quickly move the ball under pressure. We saw how good he was at that at times during that game. And Gini Wijnaldum, in fact, Gini Wijnaldum just, it didn't quite work for him. It felt like they were prepared for what he does, and that he loves to hold the ball. He loves to drop, he loves to roll round as man. Wasn't a great performance from any of the midfield, to be fair. But yeah, look, the Fabinho shout is an interesting one. This, for me, is shout of the night, by the way. Ibrahim Mohammed went 20 games unbeaten, then lost against the best team in the league. We go on another unbeaten run, we win the title. This is one game, folks. Positive thought. Look, if Liverpool go on the same unbeaten run, you know, from now to the end of the season, more likely than not, we'll win the league. Will we? Who knows? Because it was a phenomenal run at the start of the season. It's possible that Liverpool might hit a little bit of a sticky patch now, but as we've seen, it's possible that Man City will hit another sticky patch, and it's possible that Spurs will be Spurs, you know, and all these things. There's a lot of games to go. If I was a Man City fan, I would be encouraged by it, because they've seen how quickly things can turn around, so they'll probably be thinking, great, well, yeah, keep going, keep doing our thing. But I think Liverpool will think the same as well, to be perfectly honest. James Brazendale, never let Lovren in a red shirt again. Yeah, we're going to have to, mate, unfortunately, because until Gomez comes back and Matip comes back, we don't really have an option. Not great from Dejan Lovren today. It was very Lovren-ish, wasn't it? You know, he has moments when he's dominant and he's in the right position, he's doing the right things, and then he just has moments when he just feels a bit brain dead. Dejan Lovren is fine for your third choice centre half, for your third or fourth choice centre. Typically, the game was probably more suited to a Matip style thing, because you don't need super physical Lovren for that game. You need someone who's a bit cooler in possession. That ball he plays at the end with his wrong foot for no reason whatsoever is Dejan Lovren all over him, just him losing his head a little bit in the box. It's Lovren. You take the rough with the smooth with Dejan Lovren. He is what he is. Is he upgradable? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely upgradable. We have upgraded on him. His name's Joe Gomez. He's injured at the moment. It is what it is. There's not many clubs that can put in, with the exception of Man City, who seem to have Vincent Kompany as fourth choice centre-half at the moment. What a world that is. That's what you're competing with, and literally competing with on the night as well, that they're able to bring Vincent Kompany, the best centre-half the Premier League's had for the last 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Just throw him into the game, you know. Played one game last week, throw him in again, there's Vinny Kompany, great, magic. Lovren's fine, but he does have that in him, we all know that. Yeah, whether you want to accept that or not, it is what it is, isn't it? Lee Carter, 95, first loss sound, it's how we react after the loss that matters, completely agree with that. All of us will have, and it will come to a degree, there'll be a degree of loudness to this. I suspect the vast majority of us will have that little voice in the back of our heads that goes, oh my God, what if we then go and lose to, is it Brighton the next league game, or blah, 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 what if we go on this bad run, what if January's terrible, we always have terrible Januaries, what if we have another terrible January, then yeah, Liverpool won't win the league. If they want to win the league, then they're going to have to pick themselves up, dust themselves down, and they're going to have to go again, and have to start beating teams and, not conceding goals and blah, blah, blah. Based on the evidence of what we've seen so far this season, yeah, you'd imagine they will do that. Will they, though? Time's going to tell. Next comment comes from Zabby-esque. Terrible. Still 4 points ahead, but we never looked like we wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck until it was too late. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that Liverpool, again, looking at it now, when we changed the formation, we went a little bit more attacking, and we looked a little bit more dangerous for it. We got level in the game in particular, albeit not from it's a good goal. It's a well-crafted goal. Yeah, I can see that, I'll be honest. We've seen Man City have problems when teams have really gone at them. I think it's easy to say that. We're not Crystal Palace. And people say, we're better than Crystal Palace. We are, which means Man City played differently against us. There's a different level of expectations, a different level of solidity and approach, and all those things, a different tactical plan. We can't play against Man City the way that we've put Palace play against them, or Leicester play against them. It's just, it doesn't quite work out that way. But look, I can't fault the logic now, looking back at it and saying that we should really have made a bit more of a game of it. But again, we had the players that are capable of making a game of it. We did. We've got players capable of causing problems. They're very good. And, we had those chances. Sadio Mane, Leroy Sane has a chance. It goes past the goalkeeper, it hits the post and goes in. Sadio Mane has one, it hits the post and comes out. There's one that's cleared off the line by a centimetre. These are the fine margins at which the truly elite football teams live and die by. It's come out in Man City's favour today. On another day, it'll come out another way. Ultimately, it might come out in City's favour today. They'll win the battle, but they'll lose the war. If we get those marginal wins in other games throughout the season, then all this will be for absolutely fuck all. So, that's just the way footy is, isn't it? Karen, it's Karen Adam. Just going to cry in my room. Get it out, Karen. Let it all out. Let the tears flow. You know what? We haven't seen many defeats this season. It feels weird. It feels really, really weird. So yeah, look, if it's going to make you feel better, by all means do. Personally, I won't be doing that. I'm just going to go and drink myself into oblivion. No, it'll be fine. Mark Garcia, poor passing was terrible. Poor passing is terrible, isn't it? Yeah, passing wasn't great. But then, again, key moments aside, the Man City passing was a bit crap as well. Both teams... These are two very, very finely poised, very well balanced, very well matched football teams. The amount of times that both teams just kicked it out for a throw-in without any, in weird situations was telling. Loads of pressure on both teams, and they just edged it. Yeah, our passing should have been. If our passing was better, we'd have played better and we'd have maybe scored more goals. The same was true of their side too, as well, to be fair. George Howe, chill. Look how hard a team has had to work to play to beat us. How many of the teams capable of putting that amount of pressure in the Premier League? Still top 4 points clear. Calm heads. I, again, completely agree with that. Man City are... At the very least, you can split hairs and say which is a better side. And I said on my match reaction, I think City are slightly better than this. I just think they've got... they've got De Bruyne on the bench there. Look, Shaqiri's amazing, but Kevin De Bruyne is the best player in the league, pretty much. And they can afford to keep him on the bench and not have him play a pivotal role, as they've done all season. So, yeah. But, yeah, these are two very, very good sides. And the only teams that have genuinely caused us problems this season are, the Chelsea side that won the league 2 seasons ago when they were flying first away from home under the new manager. I'll discount the League Cup game for the sake of just it being devastating to my point. The PSG, who've got the most expensively assembled front line in the history of football, who were phenomenal, really, really caused problems. And Man City caused us problems. I can live with that because we've caused them problems too. And that's all you can really ask for ultimately. And another day, the chances go for you and their chances don't go for them and you win. Novov Yubiznov. Arsenal fans going to be creaming. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I didn't get this. I was wondering whether it was because does it make 5th place closer to 1st place or something, but I think it might be the unbeaten thing. I said this on the podcast. I'm fucking not asked about the Invincibles thing. Fully not. Arsenal did that at the absolute peak of their powers. Arsenal had won. I think I'm right. Maybe because I'm not a massive student of Arsenal's history, if I'm perfectly honest. But I do remember I was 12 to 18 when Arsenal were amazing, or 20 or whatever. But they had a team at the absolute peak of the powers, and they went and did that. It was great. It was a phenomenal achievement. I don't care how Liverpool win a fucking title. If Liverpool won it unbeaten, that would have been just... I wouldn't have been more made up with the league title if it had been done in an unbeaten way. I just wouldn't have been. I'm so desperate for it. I genuinely don't care how we do it. If we have to basically take to the pitch and have one of our players, we need to win the last game, and we sacrifice one of our players to a murder charge by having them go and stab the opponents to death in order for us to win the game, then fucking do it. Then Moreno, looking at you, lad. Take one for the team. Remember the Europa League. Yeah, anyway. Whatever it takes. Charlie JFT96, 4-point lead. Can't be asked for the negative people on it. Agreed. Mark McCauley, still number one, so no worries. Glyn, GCR, 1984, nothing changes. We're still top, just move to the next one. Harry Parkinson, both games against City done. Still 4 points ahead. Let's go and win this league up the Reds. I think that's a great point. Having those two, we're ahead of Man City, and they haven't got any more games against us. So there's no more games where they just need to stay in touch and distance, and then they get the win and they shoot above us. Or there's no games in hand and play at the moment. It's in our hands. What more can we ask for? 10 points is what more we can ask for, but sadly not anymore. Dean Murray, great game of football. Unfortunately, unbeaten run is over. All about how we react after this defeat. We go again next week up the Reds. Spot on, mate. And Jamie Morrow, cue the lover and his shit brigade. Cue the Liverpool fans whose heads will fall off. For me, cue the fact we are still 4 points clear and argue we've had the worst of the season over us. Exactly right. We've played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. We've played Manchester City twice already. We've played Spurs away from home already, and we're 4 points clear at the top of the league. Look, will we go on and do it? I've no idea. I've fucking no idea. How could I possibly know such a thing? But if you were writing a script at the start of the season for where you wanted to be at this point of the season right now, this is what it would look like. And if you showed me that script at the start of the season, I'd say it was utter fucking bollocks. I would say it was a flight of complete fancy to suggest that we would have this buffer at all at the top of the league. Horseshit. Complete and utter bollocks. But no, that is the reality of where Liverpool are. If Liverpool want to win the league, they know what they've got to do. They've just got to get themselves back on the horse and get back into the habit of winning football matches. And trust that, yes, the hardest of the games domestically this season, the back has been broken of the league this season. Now I've just got to get on it and ride it to death, ride every last inch out of it until we get over that line and win the league title. Again, will we do it? Who fucking knows? But for one, I'm going to be there watching it regardless, and so are you. We'll be in all the way regardless. Do make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want more, get over to the redmentv.com for all coverage from all angles, everything Liverpool related, transfer news, stats, tactics, match reviews, et al. See it all there. Come on, you